The courtroom is silent. Not peaceful, not calm, just heavy. The kind of silence that settles right before a life splits into before and after. Everybody came in expecting another tedious hearing over property lines and old wounds in the Brown family. Just another day of legal noise around Coyote Pass, and who got what in the divorce fallout. Instead, this is the day that Cody Brown's carefully constructed empire shatters in front of cameras, lawyers, and the very women he spent years trying to erase. And it starts with Meri. She walks in wearing red. Not soft beige, not neutral gray. A deep, controlled red that looks like a warning sign. Christine and Janelle stand on either side of her, sharp and unshakable. They are not background characters in someone else's story anymore. They're witnesses walking into the final act. Cody arrives like he still owns the room. Polished suit, forced grin, that familiar swagger. Robyn by his side, clutching her bag with a brittle smile, already cracked around the edges. None of them know that by the end of this day, Cody would be leaving in shackles. And Robyn leaves with the first cracks of her own downfall exposed for everyone to see. The charges. Judge Harrison steps in. The tone is different already. No warm-up, no patience. The change is announced in a single sentence. New evidence has been submitted under seal. The case will not move forward as previously scheduled. Cody tries to interrupt, still believing this is his arena, insisting they are only there for a family property matter. The clerk reads the revised case. State of Arizona versus Cody Brown. Identity theft. Wire fraud. Forgery. Misuse of federal relief funds. The air in the courtroom shifts. Robyn's face falls. Cody's smirk falters. Christine presses her lips together. Janelle looks down for a moment to steady herself. And Meri smiles not from joy, but from something colder. The prosecutor rises and introduces Exhibit 4C. Financial records. Forged documents. A flash drive. Surveillance provided by someone from inside the household. Dayton's truth. Dayton walks in quietly. He doesn't look like a troublemaker. He looks like someone who has been carrying the weight of a secret for far too long. He testifies that he saw a blank power of attorney with Meri's name on Cody's desk. He remembers Cody practicing Meri's signature late at night. When Dayton confronted him, Cody told him to stay out of it. Robyn later instructed Dayton to burn the notepad. He did not. The notepad is now in an evidence bag filled with attempted versions of Meri's signature in Cody's handwriting. Every stroke, every hesitation captured in ink. Cody tries to shout Dayton down. The judge shuts him up with a single warning. The prosecutor then calls for video playback. On screen, Cody is sitting in his office. He signs a power of attorney form that has Meri's name on it. Robyn comes into frame. Her voice is clear while asking if Meri agreed. Cody says no, but she will never know. Robyn tells him not to mess up the signature this time. The judge drops his pen. Silence slides through the courtroom like a knife. Meri rises slowly and releases words that she has stored up for years. You stole my name. You stole my freedom. Now I steal yours. Cody is remanded into custody. The showman walks out in handcuffs. A man who spent years bragging about control is being led through heavy doors by strangers who don't care about his fame. And that's just the opening act. The letter in the wall. The next morning, the courthouse is filled with reporters and cameras. The world already knows that Cody is facing criminal charges. Meri comes in carrying a box. Not a binder, not a folder. Just a dusty box, pulled from behind drywall in an old Flagstaff house. Inside, shredded documents, burned corners, scraps of a secret life. And one intact letter, written in Cody's hand. She states her name and history. She was Cody's first wife. She managed the early LLCs. She opened the insurance. She tracked the show payments back when Robyn did not even have a mailbox. She hands the letter to the judge. He read it aloud. If anything happens, look into accounts in the Brown family trust. Robyn helped. If Meri finds out, it's over. The POA is fake. I forged it. She'll never know. Signed, Cody W. Brown. Gasps ripple through the courtroom. The lie is no longer rumor. It is confession. A notary testifies next. She admits she notarized multiple documents in Meri's name without Meri present. She admits Robyn pressured her, claimed joint rights, framed Meri as unstable. Meri listens without blinking. All those years of being painted as emotional, fragile, irrational fall apart in that moment. The one called unstable is the one holding receipts. The ones who called her unstable use that lie to forge documents in her name. The hidden account. A financial forensic expert takes the stand. 16 years of tracking financial crimes sit in his posture and tone. He confirms 5 accounts in Meri's identity. 4 real. 1 anomaly. Flagstaff Federal Credit Union. Opened in person while Meri was out of state. Her license on file. Her name. Robyn's address. Through that account comes $840,000 over 3 years. Show payments. Sponsorship money. Business loans. Transfers from the Brown financial ecosystem. The spending tells the story. Luxurious interior design. A custom Italian chandelier. A high-end security system for Robyn's Flagstaff home. A massive payment for a cabin bought in an LLC. Then, a photo comes on the screen. Robyn standing on the porch of that very cabin, champagne in hand, date stamped 48 hours after the withdrawal from the fraudulent account. Meri speaks with an ice-cold clarity. You lived in a house I paid for without knowing. You called me reckless while you spent money taken in my name. The expert is not done yet. He shows a ledger that came from Robyn's email. Payments labeled hush funds. Thousands of dollars going to several names, among them Savannah, Aurora, a notary's daughter. These are not gifts. These are quiet bribes to keep people from talking, or to soothe them when Kody's absence becomes too obvious to ignore. The judge says that Robyn is now being formally considered for possible accessory charges. Robyn shakes. She has almost lost control, completely. The hospital and the betrayal. The pressure gets to Robyn and she collapses, ending up in the hospital. She lies there, sedated, staring at nothing. Dayton sits beside her, running the notary video on his laptop again. He closes it. He tells the nurse that when Robyn wakes, she'll hear something important. He won't protect her from now on. The courtroom springs into emergency session once more. Now, a statement surfaces from Dayton claiming responsibility for leaking the notary video to the public. He said that he discovered it in a cloud backup that was attached to Robyn's personal device and kept in a folder labeled Red Folder. He says Robyn sent a cleaned up version to her attorney after shortening it. The original, he says, is 10 minutes long and much worse. In the real video, Robyn explicitly tells the notary that Meri doesn't have to know what the document is. She will bring a paper with Meri's name already on it. She simply frames it as an internal matter. The judge does not waste any time. Robyn is well on the way to being a co-defendant. A video deposition from the hospital is ordered. By the time the camera connects to Robyn's hospital room, she is looking drained but fully conscious. Standing in the corner, Christine's daughter Michael T. is watching with a cool, unreadable expression. Robyn is sworn in. Under oath, she finally admits it. She took part in the power of attorney scheme. She knew Meri hadn't signed it. She signed anyway for family protection, as she terms it. Her voice is flat. The excuses sound empty even to her. Her statement ends with a quiet line. She claimed she wanted to protect her family. Instead, she destroyed it. Aurora's letter and the TLC contract. An unmarked package arrives at the courthouse. Inside is a revision of the TLC contract, a binder Mark Brown Family Talent Agreement, revised 2020. The judge reads the clauses out loud. Exclusive narrative control over footage involving the other wives was granted to Kody and Robyn. Bonus structures that reward them for maintaining the appearance of a unified family. Emergency provisions allowing Kody to refocus storylines whenever another wife threatened to leave. The signatures on this version are those of Kody and Robyn alone. No signature from Meri. None from Christine. None from Janelle. This is not just a family betrayal. This is systemic exploitation. Janelle then shows she found an older binder in Kody's truck from 2017 listing bonus amounts tied to specific storylines. There's one line that stands out. Meri confrontation. Bonus if tears are visible in the final edit. Meri's pain was literally itemized as content. The judge orders civil discovery against TLC. The representative for the network tries to move the matter into private arbitration. The judge refuses. This is no longer a matter of only messy reality television. It is now a case of fraud wrapped within corporate malfeasance. Then comes Aurora's letter. She writes, Robyn once made her sign trust paperwork she didn't understand. Later, Kody found recordings of Robyn and Kody planning show drama, referring to Meri as a content trap who should be pulled back in the fold whenever they required more episodes or emotional arcs. Aurora sent the audio to someone at the network. Nothing happened. The files were ignored, buried. Now they are in court. The judge says this is more than fraud, it edges into racketeering. A federal investigation into the production arm is ordered. Meri doesn't beat around the bush. The tears were real. The pain was real. The betrayal was real. The rest was crafted around it so others could profit. Sentencing and the last threat. The day of sentencing arrives. Shackled, Kody walks into the courtroom, his earlier arrogance burned out. The showman persona is gone. What remains? A hollow anger and a refusal to accept blame. Meri approaches the bench, holding in her hand a single old photo of her and Kody in the beginning, young, full of hope, unaware of what their future would turn into. She gives her victim impact statement. She talks of believing in him, the family, in the sacrifices made for something bigger than themselves. She describes how she ignored late nights, shifting priorities, humiliations, comments that compared her worth to the usefulness of other wives. She draws the line at forgery. He had not only stolen her money, he had removed her from her life using her identity as a tool. She does not ask for mercy, not for revenge. She asks for clarity, so the children understand that the chaos they survived was not their fault. Finally, Kody gets to have his say. Everybody used him, he insists. He frames his fraud as survival. He takes credit for the whole empire, and he would do it all again. He throws barbs at every wife. He forged Meri's name, he says, because in his mind she had already left him. The sentence is pronounced by the judge. Guilty on all counts. 22 years in federal prison. Parole eligibility after 18. Christine gasps. Janelle clutches her chest. Meri simply exhales. Chaos erupts again as court is about to adjourn. A reporter gets up and starts playing a newly leaked video on her phone. Robyn, 3 years earlier, in a notary's office. Robyn clearly states for the notary that Meri does not need to know anything. She will bring a paper with Meri's name on it, and all she needs is a stamp. The final illusion about which Robyn remained ignorant completely collapses. The prosecutor announces the intent to pursue charges against Robyn as a full co-conspirator. Robyn collapses and is carried out on the stretcher. Meri watches her go and murmurs one quiet line. That is what a guilty conscience looks like. Outside the courthouse, the world consumes every new leak and revelation. The notary video goes viral. Clips of depositions spread across social media. Analysts replay audio of Cody bragging about keeping the money safe in trusts under his children's names. Robyn lies in a hospital room staring at the ceiling as her son Dayton puts away his laptop. He leaves a message with the nurse. When Robyn awakens, she'll be informed that her son has gone public and her shield of silence is no more. Back in the courtroom, the judge readies himself for the next phase. Civil suits, network liability, restitution, the discovery of what else Kody has hidden. Because somewhere in an undisclosed folder, another drive waits. Kody hints at footage, insurance, names. A last threat to scorch everything on his way down. Meri walks out of the courthouse between Christine and Janelle. No longer peripheral wives orbiting one man's ego. They're survivors standing in the wreckage of an empire that exploited them all. The fall of the Brown legacy is not a single moment. It is a chain of choices, secrets, contracts, silent signatures, and finally, someone brave enough to say no more. And this time, the story is no longer being written by Kody. It is being written by the women who lived through it.